Everyone believes in second chances. At least, that's what we tell ourselves. Mess up once, learn from it, move on. But somewhere along the way, that idea quietly changed. Because today, a second chance isn't always a choice. It's a decision made by a system. And most people never know when they've lost it. This is the story of how second chances are decided before anyone asks for one. It usually starts with something small. A missed payment. A rejected application. A flagged incident. A mistake that feels temporary. At the time, it doesn't feel permanent. But the system remembers it. And it doesn't remember it the way people do. People forget context. They forgive intent. They understand growth. Systems don't. They store outcomes. And once an outcome is stored, it becomes part of your profile. Not as a story, but as a signal. Over time, signals accumulate. Not just what happened, but how often. How recently. How closely it matches other cases that caused problems before. From that, a pattern forms. And patterns are what systems trust. This is where second chances quietly disappear. Because systems don't ask, has this person changed? They ask, how likely is this to happen again? And probability doesn't care about effort. It cares about similarity. If you resemble people who were denied before, the system assumes you should be denied again. Not because you failed, but because people like you did. That's how the decision gets made. Not once, but repeatedly. Across jobs, loans, housing, insurance, access to platforms, security clearances, even basic services. Each system has its own rules. But they all share the same logic: past risk predicts future risk. So instead of offering a second chance, the system quietly lowers your priority. More friction. More verification. More waiting. Sometimes a flat denial. Other times, nothing at all. No explanation. No appeal. Just fewer opportunities appearing. Here's the part most people don't see. The absence of a second chance creates a feedback loop. When opportunities disappear, behavior changes. People settle. They stop applying. They take whatever they can get. From the system's perspective, this looks like confirmation. Lower outcomes reinforce the original judgment. The system becomes more confident. Not because it was right, but because it shaped the result. This is how second chances stop being decisions and start being probabilities. And probabilities don't reset. They decay slowly, if at all. Especially in systems designed to avoid risk at all costs. Because from an organizational standpoint, denying someone a second chance feels safer than granting one. If the system says no and it's wrong, nothing happens. If it says yes and something goes wrong, someone is blamed. So the safest option is caution. And caution looks like permanent exclusion. This wasn't designed to punish people. It was designed to protect systems. But in doing so, it changed something fundamental. It replaced judgment with memory. And memory without forgiveness becomes a sentence. What makes this even more unsettling is how invisible it is. There's no moment where you're told, you're out of second chances. No warning. No deadline. Just doors that stop opening. Opportunities that quietly disappear. And no clear reason why. Most people internalize it. They assume they're not qualified enough. Not competitive enough. Not good enough. They don't realize a system has already categorized them. Not as who they are now, but as who they used to be. And once that category exists, it spreads. One system shares signals with another. Scores influence access elsewhere. Flags follow profiles. The mistake doesn't stay in one place. It travels. Until the idea of a second chance becomes theoretical. Something people talk about, but systems don't offer. This is the danger of automated memory. Humans forget on purpose. Systems remember by default. And remembering everything means forgiving nothing. The real question isn't whether people deserve second chances. It's whether systems are capable of giving them. Because as long as decisions are driven by pattern matching and risk avoidance, the answer is uncomfortable. Second chances exist, but only for people whose data says they're safe to forgive. Everyone else isn't judged. They're quietly filtered out. So when people say, everyone deserves another chance, they're not wrong. But in a system-driven world, belief doesn't decide outcomes. Data does. And data doesn't believe in redemption. If you want the next American Hack File, subscribe. And tell me in the comments, should systems be allowed to decide who gets a second chance? Or should that decision always belong to humans?